Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a sleep consultant at Helping Babies Sleep. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to have more sleep tips for babies 0 to 4 years. Today, I want to talk to you about sleep teaching, not sleep training. Because here's the thing, guys. Us moms, we've been holding each other down by using the term sleep training. We teach our kids, we train dogs. That term is completely out of date. And here's the sad thing about where we are in this day and age is that we've villainized this term, right? And sleep training. It's very, very bad. And so in our desperation for easy sleep, we've turned to products like the Fisher Price Rock and Play and these Docatots and these swings for all of our kids' sleep, which have put them in unsafe positions. Now I get it. We're all just doing the best we can. I admit that I have used a swing before, but it wasn't the only place that my child could sleep. And I don't know if you know this, but the Fisher Price Rock and Play was recalled in 2019 because of all the infant deaths associated with it. And here's the thing, again, in all of our desperation for easy sleep and avoiding this villainous sleep training, we're putting our kids at risk. So let's start changing the dialogue, guys. It's not sleep training, it's sleep teaching. Because here's the thing. There's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's this. The drive to sleep is biological. But the way we sleep and our children sleep, it's actually a learned habit, right? Does that blow your mind? I know, it kind of blew mine. But here's the thing. We all have a buildup of a protein in our brain that signals our brain when it's time to sleep. This is called your sleep pressure. And this buildup is actually a byproduct of our body breaking down ATP for fuel. And you can imagine, right? Like our newborns and our babies are growing so much, they're burning through fuel and growing exponentially, and that's creating these buildups throughout the day, which is why they need to nap so much, right? And so this biological thing signals our bodies that it's time to sleep, but the way we sleep is actually a learned habit. And believe it or not, we're actually teaching our little ones what sleep looks like between around 4 to 8 weeks of age. And I mean, I could go on about drowsy but awake. That sets us all up to fail because if our kids we're putting our kids down drowsy. Usually they're more asleep than drowsy. We're doing the work of relaxing them and they're getting used to falling asleep on us or in arms. And then when they start to wake up to the world around 4 months, they think that sleep looks like falling asleep on someone. So when they start waking up more in the night, they expect to be picked up to fall asleep on you because that's how they've learned to fall asleep, essentially. A lot of people think sleep training and they think cry it out. Well, to me, cry it out is synonymous with extinction. And that means to close the door and not go back in. And I don't teach that, I don't promote that because I like to imagine my world from the eyes of the child. And I want to know that I've been heard and I want to be acknowledged, right? And as a parent, I want to check on my child, make sure they haven't pooped themselves or that they're not in a compromised position. I'm definitely going to go back in. So what is sleep training? What is sleep teaching? What do I do? Okay, so here's the thing, right? Over time, your child has developed something external that helps them relax into sleep. And there's 3 categories. The first one is sucking, so sucking on a breast or a bottle or a pacifier, even if they're not asleep. But if that's what made them relax, then they can be put down and kind of roll over in a milk coma and put themselves to sleep easily. But then when they wake in the night, like all humans do, they're going to want that same feeling again, right? So that's the first one is sucking. The second one is motion, so being rocked, being a swing, carrier, car seat, all of that motion helps them relax and sleep. Same thing. They wake up in the night or mid nap, they want that same feeling because that's what they know to go back to sleep. And the third one is touch. So co-sleeping, even sleeping beside someone or sleeping on someone is something that helps relax them to fall into sleep, which is why like just being close to your parent is soothing. So all those of our little kids with reflux and upset stomachs and sick kids, that's why they want to be on you. It's absolutely soothing. And if your kid falls asleep in this manner and it's working for you, that's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just out here speaking to the moms who can resonate with me in my struggle where I was up every 2 hours at night nursing him back to sleep and it was unsustainable. And it started to make me feel resentful. And that is like the worst feeling that you can feel towards your little person that you love more intensely than you ever thought possible. But, after weeks to months of doing this, you're not feeling so good. And it's a really rocky journey. So moms like that, I'm speaking to you. Moms who are nursing to sleep and you're getting 8, 9 hours of stretches, amazing. That's awesome. Okay. There's no one way to raise your child. So when we have to do some sleep teaching, what do we have to do essentially is we have to take away those external things that are helping your little person fall into sleep so that they can develop self-soothing skills. And self-soothing skills, you and I both have them, right? If you want to, another example of the way sleep is learned is think about yourself. You go into your room, you do your little bedtime routine, you find your favorite position, and then you relax into sleep. Now, if I told you tonight that you couldn't sleep in that position, well, you're a complex adult. You would find another position, but it might take you a little while. It might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but you could do it, right? So it's a learned habit. It just proves my point. So when we're teaching our kids older than 4 months of age, because before that, I really don't think they have the capability of doing it, you can work on healthy habits and helping them set up good skills. But once they've already learned a certain way, the unlearning can't happen until after 4 months. Um, you can work on it for a really long time and you can make improvements, but often I see people having to wait till 4 months. And the idea there is how can they develop their own soothing skills? So can they suck their thumb? Can they roll onto their stomach and rub their face into the mattress? Do they rub the back of their head into the mattress? Do they find a piece of material and rub it between their thumb and forefinger? A lot of kids do that. Very repetitive, soothing motion. That's where you have to get to so that you can put your little one down completely awake and they can do that little self-soothing skill and relax themselves into sleep. And yeah, they're going to wake up in the night. All humans wake up in the night. And sleep training isn't synonymous with taking away all night feeds either. I'm a huge breastfeeding proponent. I've breastfed 2 kids till age of 1. You can absolutely sleep train while keeping night feeds. You just have to do it in a certain way. Okay, let's talk about the other thing that's making you nervous, which is probably tears. So I had a midwife and a doula. I never wanted to hear my baby cry ever, and so I never did. Every time he squawked, burped, tooted, whatever, I jumped up and I grabbed him, and I just kept nursing him back to sleep to avoid the tears because I didn't want to hear him cry. And here's the thing. When I did that, I actually masked the root cause of what was bugging him. It wasn't always hunger that was bugging him. Sometimes he had to burp. Sometimes he was just uncomfortable because he had a wet diaper. But inadvertently, and for us, the other big thing was that I was keeping him awake too long, so he was actually tired. So he kept falling asleep eating because he was more tired than hungry, right? So I ended up teaching him that the boob was a soother. So I had to stop doing that, right? And that meant he had to cry, which I did not enjoy at all. But at the same time, I had to think, okay, where are we going with this, right? So how much your child cries is, there's 3 factors that play into that. One is, am I setting my child up for success? When I take away that thing that they know, is the timing of sleep appropriate? Because keeping your kid awake too long or trying to put them down too early, there will be more tears. The second thing is, am I being consistent? So last night I tried this one technique and I let him cry for 25 minutes. Then I picked him up and nursed him to sleep because it didn't feel right. But the night before, I only let him cry 15 minutes. And tonight I fed him. Inconsistencies, right? Your child has no idea what to expect. If you can be really consistent and deliver the same message, it will reduce the amount of tears. And then the third thing is your child's temperament. I can lay out the same plan for 2 parents and have different results based on their child's personality. They're doing all the other variables the same. Your child's personality, like tears are an expression of your child's personality. In my practice, right, I usually see parents who've tried something on their own already. So I already know they're pretty strong-willed kids, right? So I want to make sure that I'm using the proper technique for that personality to help, mitigate the tears and get the results as quickly as possible. So if you're thinking about sleep teaching, right, start changing the dialogue with your friends. Let's spread the word. Sleep teaching. We are teaching our kids. We are teachers, calm, compassionate, caring teachers. You're going to not start in the middle of the night. Can you imagine if I tried to teach you something new in the middle of the night? Very difficult. So you're going to start at bedtime. I want you to download my sleep teaching chart that I have for timing. That's going to be in the links below. And I want you to be on the same page as your spouse. You're going to have a plan for what you're going to do, and then you're going to implement it. Okay? If you're looking for more guidance, this is everything that I teach in my Helping Babies online sleep school. And the link will be in the comments as well, where I give you video classes and then I support you on your journey in my private Facebook group. Because you can be loving, attached, and well rested.